I'm here today to talk about working candidates. Now, it seems as though in the front office there's various markets out there that have changed a bit over the last couple of years, from being very job-centric to being actually much more candidate-driven. What I mean by that is where you were short on jobs, where really all your time was about trying to find those jobs and service them. There's plenty of candidates out there. All it would take was be an advert or just some Apollo searches to find them. Whereas it's becoming a little bit more difficult now that candidates are going to be harder to find, harder to close, harder to think about getting them on exclusive with us. And a lot more times we're getting candidates that have several opportunities, so several job offers potentially. So we're losing out on those a couple of times. So starting to think about servicing candidates is certainly something that we should be thinking about at this point. So I guess why I'm talking about this is we can go, what tools within the system have we got to help you think about this? Now, on every Perm Consultants homepage we have smart lists. And every one of the perm consultants will have the Worked Candidate Smart List. This basically shows you a list of the candidates that you're working in the last month, so the last 30 days. And what I mean by worked is sent out, interviewed, placed, hopefully. Once you click into this, you get a kind of very small view on the homepage. Clicking into this shows you exactly what you're doing with these candidates. Now, this is the kind of thing I would be looking at every day for myself and potentially for a team as well, to make sure that we're taking all those opportunities we've got. We've spent money to get these candidates in, let's make sure that we're working them. The kind of things I would look at is firstly the number on there. So there's no optimal number per market because the amount of candidates you have from different markets changes. But trying to get that number through, this kind of screen will definitely show you if you have some kind of issues with candidate acquisition. So I've seen a couple of profiles where there's only 7 to 10 candidates on this page. So if you're only working 7 candidates a month, the opportunities there are pretty slim, and it may point towards the fact that you've got to start to really think or liaise with your other teams about candidate acquisition, how to get more candidates in. On this particular profile, which is a really good one by the way, there is a number of candidates there. So starting to have a look at that and thinking about, is it an optimum on the number of candidates for you or your team, is a really powerful thing to do. But the more powerful thing within this is the losing of opportunities within this list as well. So not only thinking about the number of candidates, but what you're actually doing with them as well. We see a lot of the time on people's profiles that they're dealing with a candidate, they've got them in, set them out to one job, and then that's it, just leave them there. They don't speak to them again essentially unless they come back for an interview. So seeing that we work such kind of tight vertical markets, if they're good enough to send to that one job, why aren't they good enough to send to another job, or potentially multiple jobs, or send out to multiple managers as well? Now this is obviously a fine line because we don't want to be upsetting our managers by sending the wrong kind of candidates, and also vice versa. We need to be owning and building these relationships with these candidates, so making sure that they're not sent to jobs or opportunities they're not going to be happy with essentially. But within this it's quite interesting, so you can see straight away the amount of managers that they've been sent to. So start to think about what's the kind of optimal number and what's the route into that as well. So for some markets mail shotting might be absolutely fine, but for other markets it's much better to think about maybe singling or sending to jobs, just being more specific, spending that time to actually work with the candidate and trying to get them out to different opportunities. This is on everyone's home screen. You see in here a breakdown not only of the candidates, what status, how many managers have been sent to, how many A, B and C jobs, how many D jobs, when they've been last met or talked to as well. So really starting to think about this page like you think about the job page. So having a look at that, owning it, making sure that it's covered every day.